Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Namaste Village morning session. So good to be with all of you on my birthday. Well, thank you. Birthdays are funny things, aren't they? No, not yet. Would you just sit down? My God, people are just so anxious to knock eggs over my head, and I'm already an egghead. What do you? Birthdays are funny things, aren't they? They just keep on coming. And then one day you look at your life and you think, how did I get to be 63 years old? I realize next year I'm going to be able to be singing the Beatles song when I'm 64. Do you remember when you thought that was, I'm sure they thought that was like ancient. Being 64 was like so old now, like all the Beatles who are left with us are well into their 80s and they're still going. So why can't we? So thank you. It's going to be a beautiful day. So I thought I would start off my birthday session with a little something that, well, as you know, the prayer of Saint Francis has always been my foundation. Make me an instrument of your peace. And my connection with Saint Francis, as a Franciscan now, I feel so blessed to have had him always there as my model. And I think in many ways it's kept me from floating away too high, keeps me grounded, keeps me remembering it's all about love and service and humility. So what I did the other day was I shared with you this program where you can put lyrics into or whatever into a program, and then it will immediately just give you a song. So I put in the prayer of Saint Francis, and then I picked a particular style, and so I thought I'd share what I got. So everybody enjoy. Is that it? No, here it is. Okay. Here we go.
Oh, Lord, make me an instrument of peace. Where there is hatred, I want to be your love. Where there is injury, help me to pardon. Where there is doubt, give me your faith. Where there is darkness, let me see your light. Where there is sadness, let me share your joy. Oh, divine Master, grant that I may not seek to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love everyone, to be consoled as to console. For it's in giving that we receive, in pardoning we are pardoned, and in dying to ourselves that we are born to life. Oh, Lord, make me an instrument of your peace.
Once again, incredible. No, I made the video, but the song itself was it just spits it out like it's nothing. And as we said the other day, it's all of these tools are beautiful tools. They won't get you there. They're not going to get you to where you really are, where you truly are, but they will certainly open a door through creativity to see where you really are. And then we just have to relax into that. Now, the other day we were talking about, and Calico brought this up again yesterday, the tragedy of not being a saint. See, the only tragedy is to not be a saint. And I was thinking about that this morning. And I remember, being the nice little Catholic boy that I grew up as, saints were big deals, right? We all had our books of saints and we'd read the stories of the saints, and they'd be this very glamorous, very important, these very important people like Saint Francis, people who had outer ministries who changed the world. Francis was a very good example. And yet now I realize that that is not at all what we're called. It's not that we're called to be something other than what we are, or called to be some grandiose version of who we are. In fact, if anything, to be a saint means to be empty, to empty ourselves, to dissolve. For me, to dissolve the image, the identity that I've claimed, to dissolve so that there's only one thing left, and that's love. Right? That's what it means to be a saint. And I think that that's what he was saying when that quote came. The only tragedy is to not be a saint. The only tragedy would be not to dissolve into the presence of the divine, of love itself. So I know for me, it's important to set goals on your birthday and to set a trajectory for that year. And to me, that's the goal, just to let everything go and just dissolve into the one. So that being said, as most of you know, over the last year or so, I've been writing a lot of parables. And so I have another parable from the mother that I'd like to share. And as I did earlier in the week, I've been making videos for these as well. So let me go ahead and put this up. We're going to share, and then I have a surprise for you. All right, here we go.
The Hidden Marriage, a parable written by James F. Twyman. A small group of devotees gathered in the sacred meadow where Mother was said to have received her enlightenment. They waited in silence as their teacher slowly made her way to the front of the group, then sat down on a small wooden bench, looking at her disciples. After several seconds, she smiled and said, "There was once a woman of the desert, luminous in spirit and radiant in beauty. Though she lived humbly among the shifting sands, her presence was like the moon, silent yet captivating. She possessed nothing but the warmth of her heart and the wisdom of her soul. One day, the great king, ruler of the land, heard whispers of her beauty, not only of a form, but of a presence. Moved by an unseen force, he journeyed to the barren land where she dwelled. And when he saw her, he knew the stories had fallen short of the truth, for she was even more beautiful than he had imagined. The king, in his majesty, wished to claim her, not as a mere consort, but as his own. Yet he was a hidden king, one who ruled not by the chains of power, but by the unseen hand of divine will. So he took her as his bride in secret, binding her to him in a marriage that only the two of them would know. For many years, the woman bore him sons, and they grew up among the sands, untended by luxury, clothed only in the light of the sun. The king, ever watchful, returned to his distant palace, leaving his beloved and his sons behind. As the children grew, they questioned their place in the world. They were poor, yet their mother's eyes carried the weight of a knowing far beyond their poverty. One evening, as they sat beneath the open sky, she spoke. "Do not be ashamed of what you lack, for you lack nothing. You are not the sons of the dust. You are the sons of the King. You were born of a royal line, though your inheritance is yet unseen. The sons, stirred by her words, journeyed to the palace of the king. Though their feet were dusty and their garments worn, their faces bore a resemblance to their unseen father. When the king looked upon them, he saw his own image reflected in their eyes. "Who are you?" he asked. And they answered, "We are the sons of the woman of the desert." The king rose from his throne and rejoiced. He embraced them as his own, for indeed they were his own. He adorned them in robes befitting their birthright, not as a gift, but as a recognition of what had always been true. And so, the sons who once thought themselves beggars learned they had been princes all along. Mother smiled, then said to the group of disciples sitting before her, "Beloved ones, hear this mystery. You dwell in the desert of the world, clothed in the rags of forgetfulness. But you are the children of the King. Do not measure yourself by the dust, nor by what your hands can grasp. Your inheritance is already written in the stars, though it remains unseen until you claim it. Go to the palace of truth, and the King will recognize you as his own."
And the king will recognize you as his own. I love that story because it reminds us of who we really are, even in our forgetfulness. And we're remembering. Now is the time to remember. So, another beautiful gift in that remembering are all of the wonderful people that we have to remind us. And so we do have someone who is with us for the next few days, who is going to come up and join me now, who is a great reminder, and that is our dear sister, Gina Salah. So let's welcome Gina. So Gina, did you enjoy that video?
I loved it. I loved the bluegrass song too. So sweet.
So let's talk about remembering
Mhm.
the importance of leaving the desert where we have been convinced of our poverty, of our forgetfulness, and then making that journey back to the kingdom where we recognize our true birthright. Once again, going back to the idea of remembering and choosing to be saints. In other words, to dissolve into that birthright, into the remembering of our true identity. That this is the journey that we find ourselves on. You want to speak to that?
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder if the whole point of this duality is like a great prodigal son story, so that we can realize how loved we are. Like to go totally into forgetfulness, and then the joyful, like, yay, there you are. Here you are. You were never exiled. And it reminds me of the Hafez poem. Maybe I'll sing it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is a version of Hafez, the poet, in the 12th century poet, Persian poet. And he said something like, "Of course, it may be useful to think to yourself for 1 minute of the day, I should be doing a whole lot more with my life because I'm so darn talented." But remember, just for 1 minute of the day, the rest of your time would be better spent remembering.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Venus has stolen your light and music for centuries. She knows, as does Hafiz, you are the sole heir to the king. So it's kind of that same idea.
Oh,
but-
yeah.
We're already that. We're already that.
Oh, yeah. That is so true. We all wonder, am I doing enough? Have I done enough? Will I do enough? It's all on doing rather than just being who I am. Once again, dissolving into the essence, the reality that has always been real. That's all we have to do. And it's so simple, isn't it? This is the gift of joining together in a community like this. We say this so often, but it's true. We're here just to remind each other of the gift that has already been given, the presence that is already present within us. We don't have to do anything. And if there is something to do, you'll be guided. You'll be shown. You don't have to figure it out on your own. You have to realize that you were figured out a long time ago. And you were figured out to be the true heir of the king.
And that when we forget, it's not like, oh, bad me, whoops, I forgot, oh, terrible. Maybe that's just part of the great peekaboo of life. You know, like if I really can think of myself as someone who stumbled or someone who forgot, and I'm loved even in that, what a great love is that? That you're not loved because of your perfection in this realm of apparent duality. You're loved because you are, and that it allows a kind of loving, like a version of love that is so complete that the apparent duality helped contribute to that particular flavor of love, which is loving even when you mess up, loving even when you forget. I think that when we take the body, we just inherently get a little dose of amnesia just to make life interesting.
So in this dissolving that we're talking about, one of the things that I've realized, and maybe you've come to this point too, I don't know if it's a thing about getting older or wiser or what it is, but everything, my desire is dissolving. There's nothing I want in this world. My daughter always tells me I'm a terrible person to buy presents for because I don't want anything. There's nothing that I want out here. And I'm getting more and more clear about that the only thing I desire, the only thing I long for is that intimate union with the beloved. And this year, as you know, is beginning a new chapter in my releasing into that, going to be spending more time in Portland, being with the people who seem, it's all about seeming, it's not true, but who seem to be most in need. And it's often in these people serving the ones who appear most in need that we realize that I'm only giving to myself. And give yourself to that wholly, completely. Don't hold back. Don't hold back. This is the time for all of us to give everything, to go for it. And in dissolving all of those desires, all of those needs, all of the things we think we don't have that maybe one day we can get or do, as Hafiz says, we find that everything is already there. We're already the heirs. So, anything you want to say before we bring Vicky on?
No, I think that's good.
Okay. So Vicky, good morning to you. You want to share anything?
Oh, yes, Brother James. Happy. And Gina, it's so nice to see you. Welcome to Namaste family. And you're always part of this family. We always feel you and recognize you when you come back. Your energy is that mother's love, and it's just all pervasive. And James, what I would like to say to you on happy birthday is that you have given all of us the gift of sharing this whole journey back home into who we are, and the journey of allowing ourselves to dissolve. And we do it every day here. And you have also given anyone that has asked for it a specific little extension of that, almost like one of your books come to life. And so a little program that some of us have been doing has turned many of us from I to a we, that we are one. There's no individuation in love. It's an all expression of all of us. So we thought from the little book that became life to us, we would give you our blessing and give back to you the gifts that we have received from your being simply who you are and giving 100% of yourself all the time. So I'm going to invite my sisters to unmute, and each of them have a little message for you. And let's start with Linda.
Thank you, Vicki. James, I am so blessed to be known by you because you are the perfect teacher for me. Joy, no strict rules, just be yourself. And that's the truth to the love that we are. And I'm so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And happy, happy, happy birthday. I love you.
Thank you, Linda. Deborah.
Thank you, James, for being allowing me to be part of this EPP program. I feel like in the song, the old me is dying and I'm being reborn, and just blessings to you on this day and throughout the year.
Thank you, Deborah. Isabel.
First of all, I'd like to say how grateful I am that I was admitted into this lovely program. And for the word, the gift that you have given me the most, James, it is collaboration. Your example of collaborating with Vicki and everyone else. Thank you so much. I am so happy I've been part of this program.
Thank you, Isabel. Dia.
This is so easy. Thank you for all my sisters, all my enlightenment partners in crime, for saying everything. I just have to go ditto. Vicki asked us to say one word. Uncle!
Great, Dia. Great, thank you, thank you. Bonnie.
Hi, Jimmy. Happy birthday. And when Vicki said one word, all I could think of was conviction. You are the epitome of somebody being dedicated to the Lord and St. Francis. And that conviction and passion that you have just really flows into all of us. And it's unbeknownst to you, it's just that we all get that warm feeling of we can do it. Thank you.
Amen, Bonnie. Thank you, thank you. Kathy.
Happy birthday, James. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The word that comes to me is saved. Knowing you, being part of this program, my prayer partners, knowing Vicki has not only changed my life, it has saved it, and I'll never be the same again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you. And Bernadette, Saint Bernadette. You have to unmute, Bernadette.
Sorry. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Happy birthday, James. I forget what I was saying. I just wanted to say that the one word I'm thinking of is I am now uncompromising. And I so enjoyed this program, and so happy that my sister Isabel told me about it, and have a wonderful third part of your life. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernie. Thank you for wearing the birthday hat. Thank you, everyone. Brother James, these are the gifts you have given freely, and these are the gifts that have been received by all of us. You know, in every measure, every day is the fullness of all of these gifts. Happy blessed birthday. Thank you.
Thank you, Vicki. Thanks to all of you who have been with us for this last Enlightenment Partner Program. As you all heard, it changes people at such a core level, that uncompromising commitment to only love, only God, only now. That's all we're doing here. That's why it's our motto, because it's the only thing we're called to do. So we're going to go to Calico for a minute, and then Gina is going to close us with a little chant. So anything you want to share, Calico?
It was just great hearing everyone, with their gratitude, because I think that's one thing you have to have in order to move through this minefield that we've built up, is gratitude that we've got it. And I can't remember who said it, James or I can't remember. Someone said this morning, it's all about loving ourselves. We're not getting anything new. It's loving what we are. And that's perfect, no matter, and oh my God, all those times I thought, oh, I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't do that, should have done this differently, shoulda. And it's like, that's not it. It's so deep within. It's like, no matter how we show up, we're perfect. I mean, it's like right now I'm in contemplation with, Hitler. And one of the things I came in contact with was, I remember early on my birthday, it was Yogananda's birthday, and Nixon. And I'm from the 60s, and in my world, Nixon was the evil empire. So it's kind of like, don't take myself too seriously, because we're all of it. We're all of it. No matter who we are, we're perfect. And it's just us catching the judgment that we're not. And, however that works out. So thank you, and a happy birthday to everybody. And there you go.
Thank you, Calico. Okay, Gina, so you're going to finish with a chant, and we're going to get everybody involved. So here she is.
Wow, what an inspiration though to hear everyone. Good work, James. Wow. I'm gonna stand back here so I can see people because I'm short. Here's what comes to me, and you help share it so wonderfully. Let yourself be loved, beloved. Let yourself be loved. Let yourself be loved, beloved. You are so worthy of. Let's sing it again. Let
yourself be loved,
beloved.
Let yourself be loved.
Let
yourself be loved, beloved.
You are so
worthy of.
Any parts that ever forget how loved they are, that one that made mistakes, any parts.
Let yourself be loved, beloved. Let yourself be loved. Let yourself be loved, beloved. You are so worthy of.
As James teaches, we are one in the one, beloved one. We are
One in the one, beloved one.
one.
In the one, beloved.
Let's raise our hands up as blessing and really fill James on his birthday with so much love.
Okay, all right, didn't come.
I'm fortunate enough to have been friends for over 30 years. Here we go. Oh, let yourself be beloved. Let yourself be loved, beloved. Let yourself be loved. Let yourself
Be loved, beloved. You are so worthy of.
We love you. We love all of you. We love ourselves. We love
Amen. We love you all. Have an amazing day.
Happy
Namaste,
birthday.
everyone. Bye now.